Good morning. It is 7 o'clock, 7 a.m. on Thursday, July 6th, 2017. I'm Christiana Ellis, and been up for a little bit. This is 5 more minutes. I'm running behind schedule because I talked with my neighbors today. I know, right? Who does that? One of my neighbors in particular has had a sunburn horror story apparently over the last week. I hadn't run into her, but I noticed that she had what looked like a bunch of healing blisters on her lower lip, and apparently she got a really bad sunburn, second degree, with lots of blisters, and she had put sunscreen all over and was wearing a hat, but apparently didn't realize that the hat was only shading down to about here, and so all down here, I guess, got a really bad sunburn, and boy, I tell you, I'm just super squeamish about those kinds of stories because as a fair-haired, red-haired, or fair-skinned, red-haired person who can't really tan and has always been at risk, elevated risk for sunburns. I've kind of gotten through my life. It's been a long time since I had a bad sunburn, but that's because I'm super paranoid about it. It's like the idea of, oh yeah, soak up a little sun, feels good, right? I think of that as like, well, yeah, in like a 30-second interval. When I was last down in Florida earlier in the spring, we went out and walked around, and I sort of almost had, I don't want to say I almost had a panic attack, because panic attacks are a real thing, and it wasn't really anywhere close to that, but I certainly had a belated reaction of like, oh, it's really sunny. We're going to go out and walk around in the sun and just be in the sun. I need sunscreen. And that kind of, it was sort of a no question, it has to be done immediately sort of thing. And, so I've always kind of, I haven't been sunburned in a while, but because I am super paranoid about it. And so I still, I guess, have some sense memories, though, of bad sunburns. I don't think I've ever had one that had blisters, not that I recall, but still. Ugh. Yeah, so in any case, she's feeling better now than she was. So that's good. But boy, yikes. What was the other thing I was going to talk about? Oh, that's right. It was pointed out to me on Facebook yesterday by a friend of mine named Charlie Brown. Yes, like the Peanuts character, but not actually the same person, oddly enough. Um, but I was talking about my enthusiasm for the Baby Driver soundtrack, and he pointed out something which I hadn't realized, which is that a lot of the tracks on the soundtrack are the original songs that are sampled in some famous hip hop songs. Interesting, right? Oh, shoot. I know when I was going to talk about it, I was going to have the post up so I could cite the examples, but I didn't do that. So, but he gave me a couple of examples of just songs on the track that otherwise just seem like, oh, that's kind of an interesting, unusual song. But apparently, part of its selection might be due to the fact that there's a famous hip hop song that's sampled from it, and that's kind of just a neat thing. Um, and yeah, so that's just kind of a neat detail I learned yesterday about the Baby Driver soundtrack. Um, I don't know. I'm kind of talking around some politics right now, just because, like, every time I open Twitter, it's, oh God, what now sort of situation. But watch as I continue to dance around and talk around those politics and not actually get into it, because that stresses me out. So, what else? Oh God, this whole week feels really strange because, of course, the holiday made it a short week, but then that's on top of, some of the stuff about dealing with Luna, and then just also because of the holiday week, we're rescheduling. We didn't have so many levels last night, and yeah, so gosh, I'm feeling suddenly scattered this morning in a way that I wasn't really expecting. But I'm gonna rally, get off to work, and I'll talk to you tomorrow for 5 more minutes.